Hello y'all, I'm Amaya and welcome to my channel, Fashion Diaries. This latest entry for my channel is part of a series called Weekly News where I talk about fashion, trends, careers, or honestly just anything I want because I said so and it's my channel. Today's topic is about the career of fashion designers. I know you might be thinking, girl, we already know about fashion designers, like everybody knows what they do. And then that is true. A lot of people at least should know what fashion designers do, but some people like a little more in-depth information about them, and I am one of those people. And I'm also a yapper. So today I will be talking about the career of a fashion designer and their key roles and why they're important and basically, all that good stuff. So let's get into it. So what is a designer? A fashion designer conceptualizes and creates clothing, footwear, and accessories, etc., often with a focus on aesthetic appeal, functionality, and marketability. So basically, they make whatever they want. As long as it's functional and marketable, they will make it. And these types of people are very creative, very artistic, and they can just think of the most amazing, sometimes crazy things you would never think of and make it into clothes or accessories or just anything you can put on your body. But that's basically the bare minimum of what a designer does. So now that we know the basic idea of what a fashion designer is, now let's get into the role or key roles of a fashion designer. The main role that I notice of a fashion designer is that they create pieces for a brand or for their own brand. As we know, not every fashion designer has their own brand since they're working from the ground up, but it doesn't really matter which the case is because their main things they have to do is research trends, so basically know what's in and what's out, because God forbid you make something that's out, no one's gonna buy it, right? And that's not gonna look good on you as a designer. They also have to create design concepts and sketch those said design concepts because one, it looks good for their portfolios and to other companies, and two, it helps them keep track of their designs and how to visualize their dream and their art and just what they want to put out into the world. And lastly, designers also oversee production. So this means designers have to know what materials look good with each other, who can make their dreams come true, since designers are not always the one making these clothes. They're, of course, coming up with the design and the visuals of these clothes. They usually give these to other companies to make or other people they know to make, and they have to oversee that production to make sure it's done well. The skills that a designer needs to have are creativity, detail-oriented, and communication skills. These are probably the main three important skills that a designer needs, especially the creative part, because you kind of have to be creative to be a designer since you're always constantly thinking outside the box for your designs. You have to almost be this very visionary person to come up with some of the designs that these designers come up with, like Gucci and Vivienne Westwood, for example. These two designers are always thinking out the box. And while it might look ridiculous at first, it's the fact that they were able to take that risk and be creative to come up with these designs in the first place. So that's definitely a main key skill you need to have. I guess another key main skill you might need to have is being detail oriented, since you need to know what looks good and what doesn't, what fabrics look good with each other, what fabrics don't look good with each other. You need to be very detail oriented because if not, your designs might not come out as great, Now, as I always say in my videos when it comes to brands are always hiring. You just have to look hard enough for them. Brands like Gucci and Louis Vuitton, for example, are always looking for new designers. When it comes to the upscale brands, so they're a little more open to new young designers because they're always releasing new collections and they always want a new opinion, a new eye, a new vision for those said collections. But besides those brands and upscale brands, any brand is honestly hiring designers. It can be a local pop-up shop, it can be boutiques, it can just be any local brands in your city or town because designers are very much needed in fashion. Designers are needed to make pieces. Without those said pieces, there would be nothing to market, there would be nothing to sell, and people would not be wearing the stuff they're wearing today. So brands are constantly always hiring. You just have to know how to talk yourself into a job and have the correct credentials to get in that said job. But yeah, brands are constantly hiring, so please find yourself a job. Now, at the end of my videos, I always like to talk about the importance of why I'm making this video or the importance of the career trends I'm talking about. But honestly, in this case, I really think it's kind of self-explanatory because we all know what designers do, which is make clothes, meaning Without designers, there would be no fashion industry. There would be no clothes that we hold so much value to. There would be nothing. So if designers were not taking the constant risk of thinking outside the box and being so creative and being so visual, there would be no fashion industry as we know it today, or there probably wouldn't be any fashion industry in general. I mean, think about it. It had to take one person being like, you know what would be crazy? If I made that into a dress. You know? It had to take that for the fashion industry to grow into what it is today. So I think without these people, fashion industry would not exist. And that's why I think we hold fashion designers so dearly, is because they're so crucial and just so important to the industry. But yeah, that is the career of a fashion designer. Thank you for listening and watching my video. Highly appreciated. I'm still new to this YouTube thing, so please tell me anything I need to work on, because I know there's a ton I could work on. But yeah, that was today's topic, and I really appreciate y'all for enjoying it, hopefully. And I'll see you on the next one. So bye, y'all.